Oh, and I need you guys to subscribe. I know it's not interesting, but you gotta press that button. It's not that hard, and well, do it for me or, for the children. Alright, so today I want to talk to you about Unreal versus Unity. It's not a real versus video, it's just my thoughts as a business owner, it's my thoughts as somebody who needs to hire employees and everything around that. It's not going to be a technical review. I'm the most unprofessional channel about gaming in the internet, I think, and in YouTube especially, and it's going to keep that way, but I hope you're going to have fun in the process. So let's get started. When you want to develop video games, you're probably choosing between Unreal and Unity. I know you got Engine and you got other stuff, but those are really the main ones. Now, I can talk to you about the differences in the engines themselves, but I think in YouTube you got much better videos about that. Obviously, Unreal works with C++ and Unity on C#, and C++ could be a little bit harder to learn. Now, in the box of the engine itself, I think Unreal gives you more opportunities and it's a bit easier to start, especially if you want to go to that AAA thing and like console games and video games. But if you want to go to mobile apps, mobile games, I don't know, time wasters and stuff like that, Unity could work for you. Now, for me, the decision between Unity and Unreal was a bit different because I need to think about other aspects besides building the game. The games we're doing, they're more for content at the moment with the first game, and the second game should step up, and the third game, and so on and so on. So for me to choose between the two engines, it wasn't as simple as going online and just reading what's better or what's worse. It's kind of a different scenario when we gotta make that choice. It's the right tool for the job. If you're going for that AAA and kind of all-inclusive engine, Unreal should work for you. And if you're going for that more mobile or kind of out-of-the-box options that you want to promote yourself and you want to develop yourself, Unity could be great for you. Either way, both of the engines are amazing. It also depends on other factors. And for me, the other factors are who the employees I can hire, what are my options in the market. I'm a business owner. It's a different perspective. I got to think about how many people I can hire. I got to think about what are the salaries they're going to get. How easily is going to be to replace one of the employees. For example, if I start a game with a certain somebody and in the middle, we have issues or he wants to go to another job or I'm not happy with the performance he's doing, I'm kind of stuck if I can't replace him that well. And we got to think broader, right? We talked about in the other videos that as a businessman, you got to zoom out and you got to look at the entire thing. And I got to calculate myself. So if I'm starting to build a game right now, when will I finish? How long is it going to take me? And who's the people who's going to stand beside me till the end? All right. Now, in the box itself, I think Unreal gives you more options. For example, to get started for somebody like me who is not a professional, who doesn't know anything about developing games, it was kind of easier to start with Unreal, but we also did it with Unity. So I'm going to break it down for you. When starting with Unity, we built a few games, a multiplayer shooter game, which was kind of Z versus me, it was versus zombies. We did it like a low poly kind of theme, and it was a really fun game to develop. Unity was amazing for that game. It was a mobile game. We had a lot of stuff built in, and it honestly wasn't that hard to come to the stage that we came up to. It took us, I think, a few months, and we're ready with a full working multiplayer game. After that, we started to do racing, I think. We wanted to do something with cool toys and like an environment. It's like a playground in the house and everything is miniature. After that, I wanted to do like a physics game when we gotta move our finger. It was a bartender's game where the beer slides on the bar. It was a shit game, honestly, but Unity again helped us achieve that. So games like that, they were kind of fun to do, they were not hard to do, and Unity gave us all the options. On the other hand, I wanted to make something for consoles, for PC games, something that could be more interesting as a content-wise for YouTube, or something that could be more satisfying for me to create, something bigger. For that, we started to work with Unreal Engine. We were lucky enough to find enough people in Unreal and on Unity to work with, but I had a feeling that replacing people on Unity, although the community is much much bigger on statistics online, I had a harder time replacing my Unity guys. And also understanding who is who and who can work better on Unity was kind of a hassle for me. Since I don't have any tests to give the people and I'm just relying on speaking to them, I was kind of clueless. Now on Unreal Engine, it was a bit easier for me to talk because I could really understand C++ from my developers that we had prior and understanding if the person really knows how to write code. And on the other hand, it was kind of a good experience with the people I met along the way. So taking that into consideration, not wanting to do too much mobile at this stage, wanting to go to like the first game is a shooter, and wanting to go to a box that I feel safe in and I want to develop, and I do feel like I can find some people, even though they're not developing C++ that well, buying assets, you can do a lot of things with Blueprint. You don't really need that much of development experience. So we decided to continue with Unreal Engine. Another difference that I noticed, obviously because one was mobile games and one was console PC games, that Unity had a cleaner, easier code. It was a smaller game. Even if we started to do the same kind of thing and we're thinking about building the same game right now, the third game we're going to do both on Unreal and on Unity and kind of showing the differences, but the Unity game was a bit cleaner and the Unreal game was a bit bigger and harder to clean afterward. Every time we needed to do a build, it felt like we had more steps to do before we can release it. Another thing that we notice is, well, Unreal is kind of hard to get out of the boxes because the engine is so large and it has so many things. On one side, it really helps us out to build what we want. So the environments, the wind, the water, physics, it's a bit easier than on Unity. But in Unity, it was easier to step out of the engine. So again, we need to figure out what we want to do. If I want to like invent new things and I want to talk and go to details about, I'm talking about a big game right now, going on Unity, it would be a little bit easier to step out of that box, out of that engine, out of that shadow of Unity. And on Unreal Engine, that thing is a little bit different because it's so vast and it has so many options that honestly for us, it was just easier stepping into the box and not trying to get out of it. Right now, I'm focusing on the bigger games. I'm focusing on the shooters. The next game is going to be a multiplayer, like a Demolition with a physics element to it. And everything that we're building right now, I want to be a bit more massive than a mobile game. So that's why we're doing things on Unreal Engine. On the other hand, I do want to do projects on Unity, but I want to do specific projects that are good for Unity. I'm looking for things that could be interesting for me to create using Unity for mobile games, for mobile things. Honestly, in our previous experience in marketing, we used to use Unity as the engine to build mobile apps and to build products like, I don't know, like anything we talked about before, like guessing the next poker game and doing overlays, like web overlays above something, connecting different APIs to nice looking buttons, and actually using the game engine to create apps and platforms for other things. Unity really helped us with that. So this is my breakdown for Unreal and Unity for me. The most important thing for me as a business owner is where can I find my next employee? Where can I find my next solution? Where is it going to be easier to work? I gotta be honest with you, in different aspects, it's different games. For example, uploading assets to Unity was much easier than uploading them to Unreal. Unreal actually talked to us and said that we have a copyright problem on one of our assets, which is a katana blade, a Japanese sword, and we do have the entire model being filmed while we constructed in 3D in the platform we used. Talking to them was a real hassle. We were writing emails and we were asking questions. We didn't get responses like we really wanted to, and on that case, Unity was much easier. It's like Android and Apple. Apple's a bit annoying, but you get what you want. But Android's a bit easier and you can upload easier things on it. So for me, that was the differences between Unity and Unreal. I'm sure it's not the technical aspect that you were maybe hoping for, but you got other videos for that. This is the aspect that I was interested in. What I can do, what I can achieve the easiest path, and where I can find my employees. That's a really important thing to consider.